While The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, it's certainly in a different color, or rather a different palette. Although Majora's Mask isn't the best Zelda title, it's certainly not the worst. In fact, I really like Majora's Mask. It's fun, challenging, and an overall amazing game. But did you know Majora's Mask was only developed in 18 months by the dungeon designer of Ocarina of Time? Well, on this episode of Beta64, I'm going to talk about just that. Majora's Mask began development under the title of Zelda Gaiden, which translates into Zelda Side Story. The reason it was called Zelda Side Story was that originally it was going to be an expansion for Ocarina of Time along with Ura Zelda. While Ura Zelda was to add remixed and harder dungeons along with new enemies and other goodies, Zelda Gaiden was to have a redesigned overworld and a brand new adventure. Eiji Onuma, Zelda Gaiden's dungeon designer, was not impressed though. He felt like he was just remaking Ocarina of Time again, which it kinda should be because it's an expansion. When Onuma complained to Miyamoto, Miyamoto challenged him to create a new Zelda installment, but in only 1 year. Onuma agreed to the proposal and got to work. The development team experimented different ways to make the game within a year, and eventually decided to use a 7-day time-based system instead of the final game's 3 days. This allowed Zelda Gaiden to be developed in only 18 months. Because Zelda Gaiden was developed for the 64 disk drive, it was to exploit many of the features to come with it. The internal clock was used to keep track of time, and also what you did in the game would permanently change what would happen in the days again, which is a pretty cool idea. Sadly, the 64 disk drive died and was buried on eBay, so Zelda Gaiden was remade in cartridge form. Somewhere in the middle of development, Zelda Gaiden was renamed Majora's Mask to quote-unquote reinvent the game. As with almost every beta, there's a lot of little differences between this version of Majora's Mask and the final version. Link's motto was the same as Ocarina of Time, the Gorman brothers were originally one Ingo, young Link had a boomerang, and all that. There are also some bigger changes to Majora's Mask as well. As seen in this early concept art, the moon doesn't have its normal hope-crushing, childhood-scarring face. Though without it, it doesn't really look as menacing, so I guess it's a good thing they added it? Maybe? As seen from this early gameplay footage, the layout of stages are different than the final version, such as the stone tower here. The textures in the beta also had more of an Alice in Wonderland feel to them. Originally, Majora's Mask was going to include a fishing minigame called Jabu Fishing. Miyamoto even stated that if you can catch Jabu, it may stop the moon from falling. Which makes sense, I guess. Miyamoto also said that there would be a merchant who sold time for rubies. Now I'm kinda sad that they cut this out of the game. Sure would have come in handy with me not being paranoid every time I launched the game. There are also some unused items in Majora's Mask. Originally, you could equip the Deku Horn, Goron Drum, or Zora Guitar. The instruments would change according to what transformation you were in, so that you couldn't use the Goron Drum in, say, Link's Zora form. As seen from this early screenshot, Goron Link was originally going to use the Megaton Hammer instead of punches to attack enemies. This wallet is also an unused object. It looks nothing like an adult or giant wallet. This could mean it was maybe a quest item, or a very early wallet. I don't know. No one knows. But you can have an opinion, that's fine. Originally, the Fairy Ocarina was usable in the game. Some think it was a leftover from Ocarina of Time, but because it appears in early screenshots and gameplay videos, maybe it was actually going to be used instead of the Ocarina of Time. One of the most complete unused objects is the Highland Loach. According to the description, it's a phantom fish that is seldom fished. This suggests that it could have been caught during the scrap Jabu Fishing. Perhaps one of the strangest unused objects is this green thing. This thing works a lot like bumpers from A Link to the Past. When Link touches the thing, he gets pushed back and the thing absorbs all of his weapons. This suggests that maybe the thing was used in places where it's easy to fall into the dark void. There are also some unused cutscenes in Majora's Mask. Perhaps the weirdest have to be the Great Fairy scenes. This one shows Link learning the spin attack. At the end of the cutscene, you are told to try it on your own, a concept that wasn't used again until Twilight Princess when Link learns moves from the Hero Shade. This other Great Fairy cutscene, called Double Health, shows Link totally burning a sweat. I'm getting into this. You know, Nintendo, who needs Wii Fit when you've got Zelda Fit? I'd buy Zelda Fit. I'm breaking a sweat just watching this video. At the end of the cutscene, you end up as Fierce Deity Link for some odd reason. Perhaps one of the biggest scrapped items was the Adult Link mask. This mask served the purpose of changing Link into Adult Link whenever the mask was worn. The mask was removed because it was considered pointless because young Link could hold all items, unlike in Ocarina of Time where young Link couldn't hold a bow, for example. So that's the beta of Majora's Mask. This beta makes me wish even more that the 64 disk drive wasn't a failure. A time merchant, 7 days, and fishing would have all been nice additions. But the changes between the beta and the final are minimal, and the final is still an awesome game. So if you'd like to learn more about the Majora's Mask beta, surf on over to the cutting room floor. The link is in the description. So this has been Beta64 with the Majora's Mask beta. Thanks for watching.